So I took out my phone just to look at the last time Tottenham won at Emirates. Well, I'll return my phone. We can read the team news first.
Okay, no. The English Premier League enters match day 6 over the weekend. And of course, teams continue to do bad while others are surviving. So far, you have 3 unbeaten teams in the Premier League, if I'm not wrong. And there are some teams which started with the beaten form. My name is Vincent.
My name is Brian, of course.
And I welcome you to the Liquid Sports Show, a video which is sponsored by a betting company called Bet Power, one of the biggest bookmakers we have in Kenya. And today, we also have guests in the house.
Okay, my name is Francis.
Francis?
I'm Alano.
Alano, a new, not new face actually. We used to sing this first.
Yes.
Last time we were here with the trivia, and today we're gonna see what you have. But not now. We're just gonna do a little bit of review. Which team do you support? Or the Gunners?
Oh, of course.
The Gunners. The Gunners.
Gunners.
Okay.
So, in short, we are
Manchester United.
It's 3
versus the world.
It's
Mambo ni matatu.
3-1.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brian, so far so good. United losing second consecutive match in the Premier League.
So far so good. Why so far so good?
You take the more to come.
It's not good. It's not good at the theatre of dreams, you know.
Yeah.
Brighton are the last team that defeated us at Old Trafford, and yet they just
They are the last team.
and they're the last team again. So pretty a difficult season for us. There's a lot of problems. We will talk about Manchester United when we are talking about Manchester United versus Burnley. I guess they're playing Burnley, right?
Yes, Arsenal getting their first ever win in 6 years at Goodison Park against Everton. Well, it looked like a game which was heading to a goalless draw.
Yeah.
What's your take? Impressed?
Yeah, I'm very impressed how Arteta changed the tactics.
Yes.
Everton is a good team. They really played well, but you know Arsenal is the best.
Arsenal is the best.
Yeah.
You got 3 points at the end of the day.
Yeah, after 7 years.
Yeah.
Strange one. I was making a team with Remo last time.
Okay.
The prediction we make.
Yeah.
We always ask people which team is likely.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the episode we do with Werimo.
Okay.
And he picked Aaron Ramsdale to keep a clean sheet.
Okay.
To our surprise.
Yeah.
David Raya started. What's your reaction on that?
I'll say I'll look at it 2 ways. It can be a good thing and it can also not be a good thing, because in terms of goalkeeping, you want someone to be consistent.
Yep.
So, and if you look at the Premier League history, most of the teams, if not all, that have gone ahead to win the Premier League trophy, they have most of the time used only one goalkeeper, because they need to build some semblance of, say, synergy with the back four, the defense at the back. So I don't know, it's something that can work, but it's also something that can come back to bite you. Because for me, having one really consistent goalkeeper, it's a good thing. But then on the other side, also having 2 really reliable and capable goalkeepers is also a plus, given that we are going to have a lot of matches coming up in the Champions League, in the FA Cup, in the Premier League, in EPL Cup. So yeah, it's also good to have 2 that are really capable.
Yeah, quick one. Mostly we know if a goalkeeper, for example, I'll take Manchester City. They have Ederson and Ortega, right?
Yes.
Ortega is a player who has been featuring for the League Cups.
Yeah.
The one which United won, which is equivalent to $10.
Okay.
And also they have the FA Cup.
Okay.
But now, if given the chance now, you the coach, and you ask now which keeper do you want to be in the Premier League and in the Champions League and to feature in the League Cups?
For me,
Yes.
at Arsenal,
Yeah.
I'll say I really like David Raya, especially when he was at Brentford.
Yeah.
But then the reason why I will go with Ramsdale is to build that continuity.
Yeah.
Last season they had a good run with our back four, that is Gabriel Saliba, Ben White and Zinchenko. So I'll not want to say destroy that chemistry.
Yep.
So I will go with Ramsdale as our number 1 goalkeeper.
For Premier League.
For Premier League.
For Champions League, okay.
I'm okay with that.
All right, a quick one to you. I want to know how dangerous, how good it is to have 2 top goalkeepers.
It's not dangerous. It's very good to have like 2 goalkeepers who are playing at the top, and we have had a number of examples in the Premier League, not just the Premier League club, but in many football clubs that have done well, having a goalkeeper who's able to come in when the other one is injured or on a bad form. So it really helps a team to have 2 goalkeepers, so especially who are ready to play. Remember last season, Manchester City had Ederson and the other second goalkeeper who was able to come in, especially in other games, and Ortega, yes, and he made quite good stops that ensure that Ederson gets a rest sometimes, and even if he gets injured, chances are they can still do well even if he's out. So 2 goalkeepers are advantageous to the team.
The reason why I asked that because we've had top goalkeepers at Manchester United in the name of David Gea and Henderson. Unfortunately, at some point, you're a human being and you feel like I need to be the first choice goalkeeper. Sometimes you can be first choice goalkeeper because of selection of the coach, not because of performance.
Yeah.
We saw it with Ramsdale and Burnley.
Exactly.
2 good goalkeepers, but at the end of the day, one had to leave.
Speaking about that, just read an interview for Ole Gunnar recently, and he said these days, it's good to have that squad depth, but the reason why the players are so much into they don't want to be on the bench is because of their agents, their parents, and their families.
Yeah.
They get into your head and they tell you, hey, you need to play.
You're a good player, why are you on the bench?
Why on the bench? So it ends up bringing a lot of conflict. So that is just the update about having best players who are on bench. At Man City it works though, because Guardiola is the final man.
But I know he's very commanding.
Yeah.
You have to do what you want. Otherwise, you leave the club.
Yeah. So speaking about maybe just we've been speaking every day. As a Manchester United fan, I've always been on this show and I've tried to say where Manchester United can improve. So I just wanted to ask Alan, if you were the Man United manager right now, what would you do?
First of all, I think what I'm seeing from Manchester, I'm not an ardent fan of Manchester, so I'll not say that I know what is going on. But I feel like I feel like it's stemming from the locker room. I feel like it's stemming from the locker room.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'll want to put my troops in order, put the locker room in order. So then there are no cases where you have, I don't know, Sancho is going on a party, I don't know, in Miami or wherever he's going. Whereas you need them, you have Anthony who's away due to some personal issues. First of all, I'll get it right in the locker room. That will give me enough people from which I can select from. Yeah. Then the other thing is I feel like you have to be flexible enough. And as a manager, just as Bran has said, the thing with Pep, and I think this season we're going to also see Arteta doing a bit of that, is Pep is not shy from cracking the whip. Yeah. So if you have a player, for example, Rashford, the last game they played, I would say Rashford was very unproductive. But then you'll see, as long as he's fit, he'll start the next game and the game after. So is he willing to crack the whip and say, let me start with maybe Garnacho, someone like that, in place of, let me start with Sancho if he's available to play, instead of just going with Rashford, because maybe there are, I'll call player names, big name players. So is Rashford, he has to start, he plays for England. I'll also ensure that I'm picking the people who are ready to play, not just because someone is prominent or is popular, he has to start. Yeah.
Quick one before now we go to the review. You've mentioned about the locker room, but now I want to know, do you think United have the right squad? If locker room is sorted,
okay,
do you think they have what it takes, a good squad to challenge the likes of City, Arsenal, and Man City at the top?
I'll say a strong no for me. Yeah. They are lacking in terms of depth. Look at the back. You remember the Arsenal match? Yeah. So you don't have Varane, you don't have who else? Martinez. Then you don't have Luke Shaw. Then you bring in Maguire and Johnny Evans. Haaland is going to have their lunch, I don't know, and breakfast. Yeah. So I don't think that is a depth worth of maybe capable of winning something, a big trophy.
Yep.
So I'll say first of all they need to invest. To invest in certain positions.
Right, before we go to the review,
Okay.
we cannot talk about Manchester United and leave our friends who are in the same WhatsApp group with Manchester United, who are the blue team in London. What do you think, Frank, about Chelsea? What could change at Chelsea? What do you think they are doing wrong? Or so far at the season, if you were the Chelsea manager, what would you do?
For me, I'll start with the locker room. First of all, the players. They signed good players, but the coach don't know how to use them. What I would say? Caicedo is a good signing, but even Lavia, they sign good players, but they don't know how to use them. So that's a big challenge. What I will say, the coach must know how to use those players.
So if you were Pochettino, what would you do with Caicedo to make him better in the team, or Lavia, or the rest of the team, Mudryk? What would you do to make them perform better? Would you change the formation? What would you do?
Maybe tactics. I'll try to change tactics because Mudryk is a very good player, but they don't know how to use him. They sign Caicedo, they sign Lavia, they have Enzo, but they don't know how to use them.
But do you think maybe it's something to do with chemistry, because these players have just come in and they're trying to build a team that can do well?
I'll give them time first to bring the chemistry together. I know they will come out stronger.
I think time is the word, but can Chelsea let you do that?
That's the thing.
We have a lot of problems.
Alan has something to say.
And I'll agree with Frank and also Brian in the sense that for Chelsea, I feel like right now they have a very young squad. They have an equally young manager. So else, if I'm the owner for Chelsea, then I'll give him time. So maybe use this season just to build chemistry, like go through the motions and everything. Let the people appreciate that, the players that appreciate that, the young players that appreciate that are playing for Chelsea. Then now from maybe next season, see what they can do.
The fans of Chelsea are always impatient when it comes to building results. That is something right now which United and Chelsea fans need. This is the reality. Now we had Arsenal which has struggled. Even on the Arsenal which at least won the FA Cup during Unai Emery and also Arsene Wenger. But right now, United and Chelsea is not a team which can win those cups. And patience. Then again, you talked about chemistry. Very important, very key. But now we saw Tottenham, which season I can't remember. They signed many players, around 8 to 10 players, but still most of them, the likes of Eric Lamela, most of them left the team and they flopped actually. Now that chemistry, being patient in the team is really hard. So it's just like adding the point to Frank.
This is for Chelsea. From 0 to 10, rate Jackson as a striker or his impact at Chelsea.
I'll give Jackson a 6.
A 6.
5
out of 10. Alan?
I'll say below average, so a 4.
The reason I've given him that is because he's a good player, but currently in the wrong team. Now let's start our review, and of course the biggest match which will be coming on Sunday, that will be our match of the day, match of the weekend. Obviously, the only team in London featuring the Champions League. Is that right?
Yeah.
Up against their rivals, local rivals, Tottenham Hotspur. So that's a team which we'll discuss. But first things first, on Saturday we'll have the defending champions, current holders Manchester City taking on Nottingham Forest. Last season we saw they were held to 1-1 draw by Nottingham Forest, right? Now, what's your take on this match?
Okay, for me, City will win because they have a good depth, they have good players. So even if the coach will rotate, the players will still perform.
Alan?
Yeah, I'll go with the same the same take as Frank. Like Man City is currently way too superior for Nottingham to handle. So it will be an easy win. I'll say an easy win for Man City. Maybe 3-0 or 3-1.
What do you want to hear from them?
Where are they playing from? Etihad?
Yeah.
4-1.
Yeah.
No even debate. Julian Alvarez or Haaland? Any can do it.
My fantasy captain.
Right, and the new team, the newly promoted team, Burnley, I think it's really unfair. But now they are playing their equal, Manchester United. They are up against Manchester United this weekend. I think it is a game somehow I feel now United can bounce back. We were on a call earlier and you told me if United lose this match, your season is officially over. Now I want to start from that end.
Yeah, of course you had to start from here because I am the Manchester United ambassador.
Yeah.
And I've been singing,
Yeah.
we should bounce back, we should bounce back, we should bounce back. I
But
think
players have
this is the time where Manchester United will bounce back. And I expect a lot of changes in the team as well. We have a few injuries, but I expect Varane will be okay, and Mason Mount as well will be back. So what I just want to see is the tactics that Ten Hag will use, not even the squad anymore, because every time we have stepped on the pitch this season, we've looked, even when playing the smallest of the teams, we looked out of shape. We look like headless chickens. And this is very honest, coming from a die-hard Man United fan.
I know you're crying inside.
Of course.
Yeah.
I have always told you that when you love something, you have the passion to talk about it. So, having not to go to a lot of details about this game because it's not our feature game, I think Manchester United will win this game 3-1 because clean sheet is not our friend this season. So, yeah.
Right.
Maybe Alan?
For me, I'm not really convinced, but what I'll say is it will depend with how Manchester plays on Wednesday, plays today with against Bayern Munich. So if they get a really good thrashing, I expect the game on Saturday to be a bit tricky for them. But then if they, I don't know, emerge as winners or the beating is not that bad, they might win the game, say 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
United is a team which can move from 100 to 0 very, very quick. Frank?
Okay, I'll go for Manchester 2-0.
You can go, you have no option.
2-0, they will win.
2-0.
Yeah.
Right, so you're keeping a clean sheet. Yes, we go straight to Super Sunday.
No, before Super Sunday.
Yes, you want just to hear what I love to say
Yeah,
about
because
Manchester United.
You always talk dirty about Manchester
When
United.
was the last time we did that?
This is the time.
In the prediction, when was the last time?
Do it.
No.
What's your prediction?
This is a match United cannot afford to lose. They are strong on paper, but Burnley is a team which is, like I watched their match against Manchester City, despite losing, going down 3-0, looks like more of the scoreline didn't reflect their performance. So, but either way, United should get 3 points away. Like you mentioned, no clean sheet for United. Of course, on none, I'll be asking what's my name. So I'll go for a 2-1 victory for Man United.
For once.
I also give United a win against Brighton.
Next game.
And I also give you a loss against Aston.
Next game.
So on Sunday, the Amigos, Chelsea will be up against Aston Villa. And Chelsea, how many games they've won this season? Only one.
We won one game, 3-0 against Luton at Stamford Bridge.
Yes, Stamford Bridge. The rest has been we played well. Okay, now they take on Aston Villa. They are at Stamford Bridge. What's your take?
Okay, because Aston Villa will be playing a conference, I'll go for Chelsea.
You feel
And because of the fatigue,
fatigue.
I'll go for Chelsea 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
Alan?
I think Aston Villa has been up and coming. So I'll say, as much as I'm rooting, not rooting really, but going for a Chelsea win, I feel like it will be a pretty tight match. So I'm going for maybe a 2-1 win for Chelsea.
2-1 win for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Bran, you and amigos are never, you don't mix, it's like water and paraffin.
I think every time this season, when I tip Chelsea to win,
Not this season.
they drew. So on this one, I'm gonna confuse myself.
You're gonna jinx, just call it jinx.
Right. So I wanted like Chelsea really to do well as well. They are top team, you know. You don't want to see your rivals. You don't kick them when they are down. And this is a game where they can do well. But again, it's Chelsea. I thought they would beat Burnley last time. I gave them 2-1. But again, they went up drawing 0-0 with a lot of unlucky moments in the game. So for this one, I'm saying Aston Villa will score and Chelsea will score. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw. How about you?
Aston Villa hasn't been that good this season. So is Chelsea. But I think they could be too strong for Chelsea at home, because when you lose, there is the pressure, certain pressure which comes with losing, and you can end up losing even more because of like the pressure you're trying to sustain, and at the end of the day, fans are making noise, coming to the stadium. In the 7th minute, they're leaving the stadium. Chelsea, of course, will score, but for the first time, I'm gonna give Chelsea a defeat. So I'll go for a 2-1 victory for
Aston Villa. Interesting.
Yes. And last but not least, the Gunners, Mikel Arteta's men. Once again, they are welcoming Tottenham on carpet on Sunday, and of course, this match is one of the biggest in the Premier League this weekend. Tottenham away. Son tried to provoke Arsenal fans on Tuesday when he said, "I am pretty sure Arsenal would not want to face us on Sunday." What's your response to that?
Okay. What I'll say, it will be a tough match.
Yes.
Because it's a derby, and if you look at the history, so what I'll do, I'll go for Arsenal 3-1, but it will not be an easy match, because Arsenal, they're playing today. The fatigue, it will be very tough, but I'll go 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal. Alan.
Same as I said with the Manchester match, I'll wait to see how we play today.
Yeah.
But then Arsenal, in the recent past, we have shown that we have those what people call winners intangibles. Like those things, we have a fighting spirit. We can pull together when we need to. We can grind out wins. Most recently, they win against Everton, a place where we had not won in like 6 years. So this is not going to be an easy one for Arsenal, but I'm looking at Gabriel Jesus scoring. I'm looking at Saka, Starboy, coming through for us, and I can predict a 2-1 win for Arsenal.
2 win for Arsenal.
Yes.
Yeah, right. You know, this is our feature game, and when it's a feature game, we usually like go through team news and everything just to before maybe we have an overview. Of course, a prediction even before looking at that can also stand, because you already know the form of these two teams. So I took out my phone just to look at the last time Tottenham won at Emirates. Well, I'll return my phone. We can read the team news first.
Yeah, no. You will need to tell us.
It's 2014.
2014.
That's like
During
almost 10 years ago. So before that, maybe let's go.
Maybe to check on the side of Arsenal, we've seen Mohamed El Neni is back as he resumed training, but of course this match comes too early for him. There is a possibility Martinelli could be back. He picked up a knock of, not actually a knock, it was more of a hamstring strain against Everton. Scoring a goal, celebrating, injuring himself in the process of celebrating, and the goal was disallowed, right?
Yeah.
And obviously Timber is completely out. Rather than that, I don't expect Arsenal to have like more injuries, because in the place of Martinelli is covered, there is Trossard.
Yeah.
Yes. For the Tottenham team, we saw the Croatian picked up an injury and is set to be out for
Perisic
out for a month. around a month. So I think apart from that,
They're all okay.
All others are fine. Apart from now, this is the first time in as many as almost 15 years or 10 years, Arsenal are facing Tottenham without Harry Kane. Like the Spurs team without Harry Kane.
Yeah, I think now it's the time that now I can give my prediction, because now I can see most of the key players for these two teams are available. At the same time, the forms of these two teams is incredible. Just flashbacking the last game for Tottenham, quite breathtaking towards the end. They were losing against Sheffield, and all of a sudden they turned it around, and the fans went wild, and their manager was buzzing. So they're coming to Emirates. Emirates always been singing since last season, because Arsenal do better at Emirates. They play fantastic football. Their fans have gotten behind the team, whether losing or
Apart from
not.
the United match, they left.
There are a number of... They left.
They left.
Yeah, but they left because they probably knew we've won this one.
No,
No.
it was actually 1-1 by then.
Yeah.
They knew they were doing.
They left.
They knew they'd win,
No, I
probably.
think there was kind of disappointment,
Yeah.
and cameras could show fans walking like.
They were from the future, those
But
fans. probably.
after the second goal, they all came back.
Yeah. So no problem about that, because we understand
It happens.
Arsenal fans are the die-hard fans we've ever seen, because it's been a drought for some time. Then there's hope, and then remember that game against Bournemouth last season. They were behind the team until the last minute of the game. So in these kinds of games, it's intense though, because this is a derby now. It's Tottenham, the rivalry is there. Even Thierry Henry will tell you these are the matches which I used to live for. And for me, maybe to give a prediction, the reason why I was checking to see if Tottenham have a chance to win is very low, because it's been some time, and Emirates is now buzzing. So I'll go for a 2-2 draw. How about you?
First things, when I want to know how tough match is, sometimes it goes wrong, how bookmakers are doing it. Betpower are giving Arsenal a win at 1.79, while they're giving Tottenham a 4 point something odds. It is a tough match, yes, but then again at the Emirates, the best Tottenham can get is a draw, of which sometimes it might not happen. And I'll go for a close one, 2-1 win for Arsenal. Yes. And last match, Liverpool taking on West Ham United. And another player in the name of Michael Antonio also had like throwing words at Liverpool. It's like we're so deep.
Yeah, he said something.
He'll put himself above Liverpool this season.
Yeah, he will do everything he can to make sure that West Ham look a better team than Liverpool. Which is good to see. It's the good side of
It's
football.
fun.
You can talk whatever you can talk, but you have to do it on the pitch. Although we have to give him credit, he's done well for West Ham. West Ham have done well this season. They've lost to Man City last game out, and they're still doing well. You could see they were playing well. They actually, were they the ones who scored first?
Yeah.
Yes, they scored
exactly.
They conceded. They equalized immediately after kickoff.
Yeah. Exactly, and then
they had a goal, I think,
disallowed, chucked off, as we had predicted that something like that could happen in our video. Right. So I think they will give Liverpool a food for thought. Liverpool have been winning. But they have not been winning convincingly. So without wasting a lot of time, because I want Alan as well to give his prediction, and Frank, I'll go for our 2-1, a close 2-1 Liverpool win. How about Alan?
I'll go by your last sentiments. You said Liverpool have been, I'll not say lucky, but they've not been impressive, but they've been grinding out wins. So I'll still feel like this is a match they can win. But then it will not be as easy. I will have gone for West Ham, but West Ham sometimes tend to be a bit sloppy, especially when they score. So in this regard, Liverpool have a lot of scoring power. So I'm going for a 2-1 Liverpool win.
Frank?
Okay, for me, because Liverpool is at home, I'll go for 3-1 Liverpool.
3-1.
Yeah, because of the noise.
Interesting. I think Liverpool is a team right now, for me, I can call it a title contender, because when you want to win the league, you don't have to do it in style. need to win ugly. And that's what Liverpool are doing right now. So I'll give Liverpool a 2-1 win. I'll go for a 2-1 win. If it goes worse, then I'll pick a 2-2 draw. Though they're playing at Anfield.
Yeah.
Any other comments?
Not much. It's been good to see you, Alan, again, and Frank as well on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, turning up, and we also want to, you who's watching us back at home, we want you to give us the predictions of these games in our comment section, of course. As remember, this video has been brought to you courtesy of Bet Power, and we've come to the end of the Premier League preview. My name is Brian.
They call me Vincent.
And I'm Frank.
I'm Alano.
And this is the
Liquid Sports Show.